Sir, आज ना गाड़ा में जो ये तो every Indian thinks that India is supposed to win every match. और for that example, अगर हमने लोग World Cup नहीं है, even before it started, it was almost registered that India is going to win it. Audience and fans में this feeling of India wanting to win a World Cup, how strong was it at that time?
Yeah, no. Even in 75 and 79, see, the expectations were not very, very high. But now, for last so many years, since, we won the first World Cup in 1983, since then, the people's, expectations are very, very high. And they always think that India can make it, India can do it. And India has done it, in last, so many years, 28 years, they have won twice. But they've been reaching the semi-finals, they've been reaching the finals in the World Cups. See, in 2003, we reached the final. Unfortunately, we lost to Australia. But earlier, we played some really good cricket against England, against Pakistan. Then again in 99, we did well, in England. Unfortunately, 2007 World Cup was a disaster, for Indian team as well as the Pakistan team. So, but now the people, the cricket lovers in India, they have a very, very high expectations that India can do it, and they have shown the cricket lovers that they are capable of doing it. Very recently, in 2011, before the first match started, people always assuming or thinking that India will win the cup, which ultimately, they did it. But see, the important thing is, the team, the kind of India has a team, very strong batting lineup, good, spin bowling, reasonably good, the fast bowler attack. So the combination, the composition of the team is so good now, and now in future also, India will never short of big cricketers. I can tell you, because BCCI has set up a really good academies for batsmen, for spinners, for wicket keepers, for fast bowlers. So the supply, of the young cricketers will never stop. The bench strength will be always strong.
Sir, थोड़ा cricket की पढ़ाई चाहिए. तो there was a time when Mumbai was the only team winning the Ranji trophies. Now it has become the other way around also. A lot of other smaller teams that we can say from other rather unknown areas winning. Going to other fronts also, let's say education or other. Also we now have a lot of people from the smaller areas coming up and taking up the good records. So how do you see this, let's say 10 years hence, the trend?
Well, it's not that, if you take an example of Mumbai, winning the Ranji Trophy team for 38, 39 times, and the smaller the areas, smaller states, they are not winning anything. But today the scenario is different. Even the small state, like Jharkhand or Assam or UP, they are like Goa. These teams are really they do well at the Ranji Trophy level, and they have been producing some good cricketers. But at the same time, Bombay's the dominant power has gone down a little bit. Probably the supply of good cricketers has stopped. I don't know what reasons, but at the same time, the smaller state they have started improving, and they are more confident now. Earlier they were never confident, and see, Nanu koi state hoy, for example Saurashtra, Gujarat, playing against Mumbai. Match pehla hai, Mumbai same match hai, dari ja, Mumbai same match hai, apne ko match haari jawana hai. Before the match begins, they have already lost the match. So today it is totally different. Even Saurashtra or Jharkhand playing against Mumbai, before the match, they have the fighting spirit, they have the positive attitude that we can beat Mumbai. So they enter the field with a very positive note, so that is a change. And see, they've been producing some very good cricketers. Today, like the captain of the Indian cricket team is from Jharkhand. there are some very good cricketers. They are from UP. Piyush Chawla, Suresh Raina, Mohammad Khair. So the smaller states are really coming up. In all respect, even in education, even in business, even in politics were the heavy. But in all respect, in all field, even a smaller state, people are really coming up, which is a good sign. I mean, the healthy competition has to be there.
Going back to cricket, एक जनरल ट्रेंड जो જોવામાં આવે છે મોસ્ટલી कि ક્યારેક કોઈ કેપ્ટન અગર બાય ચાન્સ કોઈ વર્લ્ડ કપ હારી જાય, that usually marks the end of his captaincy. You can take it Kapil Dev for example, when he lost the semi-finals, or Rahul Dravid. Do you actually think that one match in one World Cup is good enough to say that okay, you are no good as a captain?
No, that is not right. See, basically, it doesn't happen much in India. It happens very frequently in Pakistan. But see, captainship is a very, very responsible job. And if somebody is appointed, like for example, Dhoni, he captains in all form of game. In test matches, one days, 2020. But the time frame has to be longer. See, once you appoint a new captain, at least 2 or 3 years has to be given to settle down, to know the players better, interact with them. A lot of things are involved. See, if you appoint a captain series by series, which is not going to help really. So long term, captainship is very important, which is really happening in India now, which is a very, very good sign. And even in Australia, they have a long-term captain, always. Even in England, they have a long-term captain. South Africa, like this Smith.
Yes.
He's been leading the South African team since Nancy Cornea has gone. So long-term, and captain has to be a very strong personality who can keep the entire team together, give them a confidence, and more so, captain has to be a great performer. First of all, he has to perform in such a way that he keep his place in the team, not like Mike Bradley.
So your favorite captain?
Mike Bradley was a brilliant captain, but as a batsman, as an English batsman, he was like any other normal, ordinary batsman.
So your favorite captain under which you have played?
My all-time favorite captain was Tiger Patel, under whom I made my debut in 1974-75 at Eden Garden. But he was a very dynamic personality. He had so much of faith and confidence in his players, and he can really turn around the match on his own, because of his captainship.
So Tiger Patowdy was a very special man in that he had just one eye that was functioning. When you may have practiced with him at the nets or maybe played against him in some other close matches, did you find that his batting method was a little different compared to other batsmen, that he would compensate for the loss that he had?
Actually, because normally the batting stance is straight, like this, because he had lost one eye, so he had to open up his stance. So then he could see the ball very clearly with one eye. He could not stand like this. So that was the only adjustment he did. I believe when he had both eyes, he was a normal cricket stance. But then when he lost one eye, he had to change a little bit. So that was the adjustment he made. And after making the adjustment, he proved to the cricket world that even with one eye cricket can be played. And not only that, he scored a double hundred with one eye. I mean, he was a magician, really.
Sir, તમારું favorite batsman? One batsman you like to continue bowling for till the end of it.
My all-time favorite, as I said earlier, is Seth G. From West Indies. All-time favorite.
And your nightmare as a player?
Well, nightmare was Vic Richard, because once he goes after the bowler, and once he is on a great song, it's very difficult to control him. And the bowler doesn't know where to bowl it, and he can really massacre you. He can murder you. with his stroke play.
Sir, you were a very aggressive batsman, is what we heard. So, had T20 debut at your
Yes, well, I know actually more than the aggressive batsman, I would have been an ideal, utility cricketer in all forms of cricket, because see there in 2020 you required a good attacking bowler, attacking batsman, and a good fielder, which I was. I mean, I would have been ideal in 2020 as well as in 50 over game. But I did play, 50 over game quite a lot. But 2020 was unheard, in those days. And but if it was there, at that time, I mean, I would have been very, very good in those games. Hopefully, I don't know now. Now it's the time has changed. I see, but जब इतना समय बीतते जाए तो इतना बड़ी चेंजेस होता जाता है એટલે one has to change with the time. And I think I'm ready to change.
Sir, Tamya and Kapil Dev were a very strong opening pair for India. You all opened for about 26 test matches and you all did not allow any partnership to go beyond 100 runs in the opening at least. What was it between you and him that you managed to achieve such a thing?
It was very rivalry, healthy, the rivalry between two of us. So it was when we opened the bowling, if he picks a wicket, that used to really charge me up. That if he can take it, I have to do a match with him. So I would go all out and try and get the wicket. And if I had taken 2 wickets, he will do the same. So it was a very healthy rivalry, between two of us, and which produced really some good results, in Test cricket.
So one match or one moment that you want to relive on the cricket field, that you want, given a chance, चलो एक और मैच खेल के और तो मैं वही मैच खेलूँगा.
I would play, not once, but 10 times. Melbourne Test match in which India won against the Australians in 81. Though they were chasing 140 runs, 42 runs to win on the last day, and we got them out for 84 runs, and we won the match. And that was the only time in the history India squared the series in Australia. And if you ask me, I don't mind playing that match 10 times. That was, I really enjoyed it. Though my contribution was very little, as a bowler, but those 2 wickets set the tempo. And then Kapil got 5 wickets, followed with the 5 wickets, and Dilip Joshi got 3 wickets. I got a Greg Chappell out for small, and the earlier delivery was John Dyson. So this early 2 wickets set the tempo in the cap.
Sir, a general message if you want to give to our doctor students. We as still students will be coming out tomorrow. You may have seen a lot of changes around. Something that you want us not to change in ourselves.
Well, the only one word, if I say so, be truthful to your job, be sincere to your work, and see, doctors, it's like a social work. It's not a money-making machine. So, help everybody, because hospital nobody comes in to have a coffee or a cup of tea or something. When they are sick, when they get injured, when something is there, that's the only time they come to the hospital. So the job of a doctor, they have to perform the hospital with sincerity and treat everybody the same way.
So the theme of the magazine this year is Colors of Life. What do you think signifies, which color rather, would according to you signify life the most?
Rainbow. It's a combination of all colors, which looks beautiful wherever you take it. So rainbow is my color.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
All right, sir.